Hello, welcome pen friends. I'm really excited today because I'm going to cover the final days, the day 14 through 25 of Diamine Inkvent 2024, the Black Edition. And I managed to get them all, swatched and explored before January ended. So this was good because I did all of the Colorverse ones in December. It was a little more orderly. And then I got a little bit behind with the Inkvent samples, but I had a great time. So I'm excited to show you what I saw with these inks and which three are my favorites. But first I want to say a special thank you to pen friend Cathie for sending these samples of each one of the Inkvent and the Colorvent, and also to pen friend MS for sending the booklets. This one was a Graphilo that I put all of the Colorverse, and this one is a Goulet 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. So I was just completely supplied for this project, and I just appreciate it so much. And I never expect it, but it was just an awesome thing. So thank you. So what we're going to do, we'll look at this real quick and the tiles. I've got all the tiles out, and then we'll go right into the ink journal, which is, this time it's the Goulet one. And I've also done a few extra writing samples with the three that I chose as my favorites, but we'll go into that more detailed at the end. So we're leaving off on day 14 with Mint Twist. I'm going to run through these real quick because this might give just an overview for anybody who didn't have a chance to see them yet. So Diamine Mint Twist, which is a Chameleon. Okay, that was day 14. And then Diamine Sleigh Ride, which is an extreme sheen. I think you can see that probably. It's got a lot of green sheen. And then we had Tundra, a standard ink. Okay, and then next was Diamine Winterberry, a Chameleon, and one of my top three, actually. So, okay, then the next one is Vibe, which is an extreme sheen. They did quite a bit of that this time, and I enjoy it. I don't know that I would enjoy entire bottles of these, but they're really fun for, for having a small amount. Okay, and then Fruit Cocktail, which is scented. And by the way, I made a mistake up on Forest Gato, and I didn't pick up on, I actually wrote down standard when it's clearly on the chart from Cathie, it's scented. So I missed the scent on this one. And this one, it does. Fruit Cocktail, it is scented, so it's really kind of lovely. Actually, I like this one too. This was my number 2. Okay, so then next up was Diamine Po Perri, a standard. That's a lovely ink, but we'll see how it did in the ink journal. And Cosmic Glow, another extreme sheen. That kind of is giving off some other vibes from previous Diamine German exclusives, but I can't really think what they are right at the moment. But okay, and then Diamine Nutmeg, which is a shimmer. It's got kind of a, I don't even know. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's not a Chameleon, but it's definitely shimmer in there. And then Diamine Pine Needle, which is a Chameleon, so you never know what you're going to see when you have a Chameleon. And then the next one is Diamine Salted Caramel, which is a shimmer. Hoping the light will at least pick up some of this. And then this Good Tidings was day 25, and it's an extreme sheen, and it is quite saturated. It looks to me like it's a black ink until you kind of get working with the water brush, then you can start to see the purple. So we'll see that. Okay, so let's jump right into the ink journal. Oh, and don't worry, I actually do have pages covering those 3 top favorites. I purposely skip over it for now because I think it belongs more toward the end, but okay. So the first one was Diamine Mint Twist, the Chameleon, and this is really good. This held up readability wise, and it is pretty. It had a wonderful splat, which was just full of delicious, oh gosh, glitter and sheen and everything else, or at least I call it sheen whenever there's that much darker. Plus, there's the shimmer particle. So, yeah. So, let's see. We've not seen the sun. Oh, boy. You never know what I'm going to write in these things because it's just whatever day it is. But it definitely worked okay with a water brush, and it had a nice chromatography. Not a lot of water resistance, but you can see a little bit, just a little, where it does not completely dissolve. Like even on Sleigh Ride, it just completely dissolved, if you can see that. But I can still see my paintbrush pattern underneath there. And I do mine very consistently the same because I've done this for about 8 years, so I just always do them the same. So that for me, my collection of cards is going to be apples to apples, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's a pretty ink. It kind of reminded me a little bit of mint turquoise, but I would have to get into all the tile boxes, and believe me, I'd still be there if I had already done that. I think that's going to be more as I ink them up individually to finish those 2 mil samples, or approximately. Some seem to be more. Then we'll get a chance to really find out more, you know, which inks compare. Okay, so next was Diamine Sleigh Ride, an extreme sheen. And these are just really fun for the water brush. I mean, every single one of the extreme sheens that was in this Diamine Inkvent have been fun with the water brush. And I'll show you when I get to tip the page a little. But it's gorgeous. It definitely has a lot of sheen. And let's look at the splat where you can really see that. It's quite startling. Oh, it's extreme, all right. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but it leaves the sheen as an outline when you use your water brush. And I'm really having trouble seeing. Okay, you'll be able to pick up some. I can see some right there. It's because I'm wearing reading glasses, and even if I was wearing my bifocals. Anyway, it does leave the most delightful, it's kind of like a gold green. I put gold green because, I don't know, it's probably green. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably green, but it's definitely real sparkly sheen, as you can witness there on the other side. I guess it's green, yeah. But it leaves that outline, which I thought was so much fun, and I could just imagine playing with that quite a bit more, even down to the last drop. So, yeah, and you can see the sheen on the writing too very well. I'm pretty sure I've shown you at least the best I can with my limited lighting here. I waited till I got enough natural light to really help us out today. So, okay, so next up, kind of prettier on the tile, I think, than it is on the writing, is the Diamine Tundra, a standard ink. Kind of reminds me of a Toyota Tundra, a truck or whatever. Okay, so I said, what color is this? Yeah, I have trouble with these colors. I don't know. Gray purple, gray brown, I don't know. But because it looks different everywhere. I mean, it really looked gray over here. It doesn't even look like the same ink to me, but it is. It definitely is. It went down heavier, so it ends up looking like a dark gray. Every time I pick it up, I mess up the entire program here. But yeah, this had a really amazing chromatography. Look at that. And you do see a little bit of that turquoise coming out, kind of a little bit of complexity in the tile. But as you can probably imagine, I just, after some of those other inks, this one just sort of went, nah. But, you know, I think on a day where I wasn't looking for pizzazz, it'd be just fine. It has good readability. It has a really fun chromatography, which, of course, only comes out when you play with the water, which I do quite a bit. Okay, then next up, day 17, was Diamine Winterberry, a Chameleon. This is one of my favorites. It is gorgeous. I don't know, red, pink, whatever, maybe both, because look what happens with the water brush. Oh, I had a redacted that day. Positive, productive focus is critical. I cannot afford negative overload of. Okay. Yeah, we can only imagine. And we don't need to even imagine. So, okay. So, sparkly, beautiful. Let's look at the splat. Oh my gosh. Let's see. See that? It's like a... Okay, it says Chameleon, so that may be... I may not even be seeing all that it's cut out to be there, because I'm seeing a lot of pink sheen, or, you know, shimmer. Let's put it that way. And it's gorgeous. Yeah, I could splat that pretty much all day. But I like it in the nib. And that, you know, that's what it all came down to. We'll talk about that more when we get to my top 3. I've got to love how it looks in a nib because I'm doing a lot of writing. I'm doing a lot of pen pal letters, a lot of journaling, and a lot of processing life, and so on. And I'm not taking as many notes right now simply because I'm not heavy studying. I'm busy in other areas right now. But I'm definitely always wanting any ink I'm playing with to do both. I want it to work nice with the water brush, and I want it to look good in my own, criteria, which is highly readable and dark enough in my writing. And so I'm not sure how much. I mean, I can see that you can see the sparkle in some of the letters, and most of the letters. I used to be really, really super picky about that. Like if it didn't show up in every word, I wasn't very happy. But I guess in a way that's just part of the part of the intrigue with a shimmer ink. And even though it's Chameleon, yeah, it's definitely Shimmer. So, okay, I'll be here all day if I spend all day on one ink. Okay, another extreme sheen. This is called Vibe, and this is a teal. It's gorgeous. It's got extreme sheen, all right. Let's see if I can show you how it did around those letters, because I can see it. It ended up leaving me a nice red, sort of red, I guess, around the letters when I did the water brush. And all I did was just come in with my pen to make the letters, and then I used the water brush, this little humble thing here. I've even lost part of the cap on that one, but it still works. It leaves it red. And then over here, of course, it's just all over the place with extreme sheen. Let's see, how come the lower part's not cooperating? Okay, it just has to, the light has to hit it just right so we can actually see it. But, oh my, this is fun. But it's not as fun cleaning out of a regular pen. I know that. Although I can't ding it for that yet because I haven't actually, I've only had it in my little Serendipity, which is way up high here, so I can get it. I've used the Serendipity Mini for everything, for all 25 of these inks, which I think I mentioned on the last video, but just in case you're just tuning in here. But this is gorgeous. I got no problem with, it's got such good readability and it's dark. I was making a little bit of a mess out of it, so I think, smearing here and there, and that's not really me, so I'm thinking it's probably taken a while to dry since I was glopping it on with a broad nib. This is a Knox broad nib. But it's all preliminary. This is all just, fun each day with a different one. Or some days I did more than one because I'm determined to enter February with a fresh set of pens and an ink study of Tom's Studio. So, and I was highly motivated because I had so much fun doing the recap video of the first 13 days of this that I, really, really motivated to finish this set. So I did a lot of double ups, triple ups, etc. I wonder if this ink will flow okay longer term in a number 5 nib. Yeah, I do have that as a question because sometimes extreme sheen inks have given me a little trouble, but mainly I'll have a bottle and I think I forget to sort of agitate. And I had that with Vinta Me Copa, which is one of my favorites. And when I got down to the bottom of the first bottle of that, oh dear, it was even clogging my Moonman Mini, which is unheard of. That never happened. So I must not have ever agitated the bottle. And since then, I've taken that as a real important note to self to see if that will make a difference. Uh-oh, I got something all over my beautiful tile. Oh no, that doesn't belong there. Okay. Let's go to that next ink. Somebody got got carried away in there in that set. Okay, so next, here's another one of my top 3. Diamine Fruit Cocktail Scented. I don't know why, but this is the happiest color that I've encountered in a while. You wouldn't even think or associate it with me because I'm all about purple, magenta, and teal usually. But this is gorgeous. This is kind of a peachy color to me. Maybe tangerine or orange, I'm not sure. But I see it and I right away think peachy. So, fruit cocktail. Gosh, really nice, and it holds up really well all throughout the dip that I made. And there's no bells and whistles with your splatter. It just is what you get. But that's because it's not, sheeny or shimmery, but that's okay. sweet little chromatography with pink, yellow, and kind of a light green. Oh my, it's just gorgeous. Yeah, I can't stop looking at this one, and it really surprised me. That's where, like, from this, no, I wouldn't have thought. That's too bad. I may have to make another tile. Something has gotten all over the tile, and it doesn't come off, so that'll drive me nuts till I make another one, but okay. All right, there are more, so let's keep going here. The next one is Diamine Po Perri. And it's a standard, and this is lovely. If you'll notice how much contrast you get from the lightest to the darkest on that. I love it, and it's really, well, hold on now. I filled in with ink, double water brush this. Okay, I cheated with the water brush. So I went in here and did heavy ink and a water brush just to try. But this is more what you get right here. Well, that's with a finger smear. This is with a water brush. So yeah, I had to lay down more ink to get this. So I cannot say that it's reactive to the water brush, only up to this point here. But it's lovely anyway. It looks nice in a nib. It wasn't my favorite, but I have others in this category that I like. Okay, so next up, we're back into the extreme Sheen again with Cosmic Glow. And I kept trying to flip back and compare to the last one. So it's different because you're dealing with kind of a teal here, and this is like a Goulet blue inside it, the heart of it, you know. It's got that gorgeous blue. Really, really pretty and super reactive to the water brush. And again, we got a red outline. We got a lot of red sheen throughout the writing, and I cannot see good what I'm showing you. I'm hoping, yeah, every once in a while the edge of my eyeball catches that red, so I think you're able to see that. And then over here, well, it's easier to do because, you know, the light just has to hit that splatter, and then it's like, woo, it's almost like a pink or something, but it looks red as an outline to my eye. Yeah, or pink, I guess. And there it is on the, I just filled the numbers in just with a pen. I mean, you know, as I had it loaded in my Serendipity. So, super saturated, lots of fun. I bet it'd be lots of fun to clean out of a pen, but that's being real predictive. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be hard, but yikes. I get nervous about these kind of inks with my TWSBIs, but I have loosened up a lot about that because I want to write with and enjoy the TWSBIs. And I know that I can, you know, pull out pen flush or use a little bit of 10% bleach if I need to. I'm lazy, that's all. With pen cleaning, I have to clean a lot of pens, so I tend to use an ink like this in a pen that will not be a demonstrator, that's all. Without even knowing, you know, I'm very, very biased ahead of time, or, you know, against inks like this as far as pen cleaning. Okay, so day 22, Diamine Nutmeg is a shimmer. I don't love this, but I think a lot of people will, and I love the splatter. The splatter was a lot of fun with all that gold shimmer particle. Wow, that's pretty. Let's see, am I showing you at all? I think so. Yeah. It didn't react much to the water brush, and that seems to be a theme. Like, if I'm going to be wild about it, I'm either going to love the way it looks in the nib and the color, or I'm going to really enjoy the water brush aspect of it. Here's the chromatography. I think this is cool. It goes right up into kind of a gray, and then it goes pink and yellow and turquoise. It's really pretty. I don't even know how to categorize this. It's probably going to go in odd in my box because I'll never find it. If I put it under brown, I won't find it. If I put it under gold, I won't find it. So it's okay. That's just me. It's kind of an antique color to my way of thinking. It goes good with some of those Birmingham inks that are hard to classify too. Water brush, not too reactive on Tomoe River, but is more reactive on watercolor paper. Yeah, obviously did pretty well here. So art-wise, it depends on what you're working on. I just am always on either Tomoe River or CVS caliber paper, usually. So, or my new favorite, the Graphilo, the paper that comes in these little booklets. Whoops. Gotta make sure it can go back in there. Okay, so day 23 is Diamine Pine Needle, a Chameleon. This is pretty, but I have a lot of greens I like. In fact, my favorite is Colorverse Supernatural, and I'm just okay with that till I finish the bottle, I guess. I don't look much further, and I don't count on Shimmer being, you know, reliable, so I just, I think I'm covered in this color, so maybe I may have skipped over this one. Not skipped over it, but okay. It's got a gorgeous splatter, the Shimmer, and then a darker sheen in there is just gorgeous. It wasn't too reactive with the water brush, but you can read it. It has good readability, but I kept feeling like, unlike some of the others, you know, they're all done with the same exact pen, so I can't blame the pen. It would be sort of light and dark as far as how much of the shimmer went down and so on. So it was a little different experience. Let's see if I can tilt it correctly. It went from gray to kind of light green and then up to turquoise. But it's pretty. It's just not my favorite. I have another favorite, so can't get over that. Okay, so next is a real pretty ink. This is Diamine Salted Caramel. And it's pretty. It's not dark enough for me in a nib, but I can certainly read my writing in it. And I'm still sort of wondering whether... I think I would like it better if it didn't have shimmer in it, to be honest. Let's see. Let's see how that came out. I mean, that's just wonderful. But that's not the primary focus of what I do. I just love to do it. I love to see how every ink, even a standard one, looks in a splatter. So, yeah. So another one that wasn't my favorite, but I can see where a lot of people are probably going to love that. It has a lot going for it. It's got a really lovely chromatography too. And this, I don't know. I started doing something, didn't work out, made a mistake, so I put more ink down and more water down, and that's what I got. So I wasn't, I don't think it's anything to write home about as far as what the water brush will do with this one at all. And then, last but not least, is Diamine Gold Tidings. And you can see probably, I don't know. Let me see what you're seeing. It's awfully hard to tell. I guess down here you could see the purple better. It's kind of darkens even here with the water brush, but down here you can finally see that's the inner part of it there. It's very, very dark. It's an extreme sheen with green. Let's take a look at the splatter. Can't leave without doing that. That was an odd one. It took all day to dry, I think. And I still ended up using a roller on it. And it's slimed up there, darn it. But yeah, I guess I put that on pretty heavy. And I couldn't get it to dry. So it was sort of like not my favorite splatter. But I didn't want to waste any more of it splattering. And then the green sheen kind of shows up on the writing, if you can see it. I can see it in some cases. Of the extreme sheens, this was my least favorite, but it's just so dark, I guess. I don't know. Not quite as, you know. It didn't do what that last one or two, the last two did, the blue one and the teal one, where it just really lightens, you know, shows you that bright, bright color inside it. So, there we go. Now, let's flip this page, because this is where I knew I'd forget unless I did it. So, I did my top three, and I'm kind of boring. I admit I'm surprised. So, let me get the tiles. That could take a second. I got to find them. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, there's that one. And then we got to have Winterberry. Okay, so here I am with basically, well, not three reds, two reds and a whatever that is, orange, peach, whatever. But Diamine Grotto was my top favorite. And I'm not sure why. I just really, really love it. And I love how it, with the water brush, left me that nice little outline. So that may be what I'm remembering. But I like it in the letters too. Like, I can see the sheen on all my writing. And I'm hoping that that'll be the case. I've already inked it up for February. It's going in the Bennu Scepter 1 with a broad nib. And I also inked this one because we're right on top of January as I am filming this. This is the Diamine Fruit Cocktail, my number 2. And I love the color. It's so bright and cheerful. For some reason, I wanted it in a Fude nib. I'm kind of regretting that now. I think maybe I needed it in a broad nib. But that remains to be seen, because I'll be writing plenty of letters with it in February. Yeah, I just fell for this one right away. It was like a cheerful color. And then this one here, the Diamine Winterberry, to me it had the very best shimmer of all the ones I wrote with. And I guess I'm on a red streak. That, and I'm pulling out pink and red pens for Valentine's, for February. So here it is, Diamine Winterberry. I got it in a Jinhao 82, a pink one with a broad opus nib, number 5. And it's a Chameleon. So, wow, I already have a shimmer ink for February. But those are my 3 favorite. Now I'm going to set up all the tiles like we did in the first half, just so we can look at them in an overview style. There, I think I got them all in view. I'm looking to see. Yeah, I think so. They may not all be straight, but okay, so we got quite a bit of variety. I'm kind of regretting that I didn't do some counting before I started. I was going to kind of count up how many shimmers and then like how many extreme sheen. Let's see. Let me do that right now. Extreme sheen would be 6. It looks like 6 anyway. I'm just doing that too quickly. Not here, but in the whole set. And then there's so many shimmer that are either shimmer, Starbright, or Chameleon. We'll do that real quick. Okay. So 12 out of 25. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to go and recount and put it in the in the description because I'm doing it too quick. Anyway, I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of shimmer going on. Either they were, Chameleon or Shimmer or Starbright. And then there's that, quite a few more extreme sheens than usual. Sometimes they would have that. I don't remember them labeling it before. Maybe they did, though. And then a couple of just standards kind of spliced in there. But, yeah, this was fun. I mean, I think the Diamine Inkvent is so much more affordable than how the Colorverse was. But yet, at the same time, I love Colorverse inks, too. So, I can't, I thought it was going to be hands down that I was going to like the Colorverse better, but this has been really fun. There's a lot of these that are really fun for if you're going to have a small amount of ink. You will have more if you got the whole thing and have the, have the bottles like this than a sample. But even with a 2 ml sample, this has been fun. Or 2 to 3, something like that. So I think that is pretty much it. I'm going to head over to the library so I can just, chat with you just an additional moment or two. There. Okay, so I guess that's a wrap. That's a really impressively pretty spread there. I'm really enjoying that. That's the Diamine. And then, of course, there was the Colorverse, which I can link at the end there. They had 24 inks, and Diamine had 25. Went all the way to Christmas with Diamine. So it was an unusual situation for me to have both, 2 sets to look at all at one time, but I've really enjoyed it. And I was laughing at myself because picking 3 favorites like that of both sets is so silly because it'll change. I went through like a real pink phase, and I've gone through times when I wouldn't touch anything but purple, so you just never know. But right now I see it seems to be that one bright one, the fruit cocktail, and then those 2 that are red. They're just a different, I mean, look at that. They're all like right there. Like they form up kind of a, those are my 3 favorites right now, right at the moment. I know how quickly that could change. So if you looked at these, even if it was just viewing other people's videos and mine, or if you, had these inks. I'd love to hear about what your favorites were and why. You know, I don't know if I did a very good job of saying why. I think it's very emotional. I think color for me is just very like mysterious, you know, as to what it is that I'm attracted to color-wise at the moment, you know, because they're so, I mean, these are really beautiful inks, a lot of them. But there's something about seeing how they write that then turns the final key for me almost always. So let's see, in the other set, it was, I have them down here in the corner, my top three, the Pulsar Pulse, and then the Milky Way, which was a purple shimmer. So I was very much in a blue and purple there because Dante's Cosmology at the bottom there is kind of a purple. So I had a blue and two, well, yeah, two purples, just different expressions of purple, I guess. So what fun. Oh my goodness, what fun. So next, as far as ink focus, I'm doing the Tom Studio inks. I think it's a total of 17 samples sent between pen friend Cathie and pen friend AW. So I've got a whole thing going, a whole like case file of them and the tiles, and I've got, I think, 3 of my pens for February are going to have the Tom Studio. So that's like putting the cart in front of the horse because I've only done a tile on them. I haven't yet done an ink page, but that will come naturally out of how I like to explore the inks. Not only will I be writing letters with those February, I've got 8 to start with. It will be more than 8, I'm sure, before the month is over. But and I'm really feeling that need to keep positive and on top of my you know, pen cleaning and ink switches so that there's always something exciting in the hobby so that I can turn immediately to it if I start getting, you know, negative in any way for any reason, you know. And so I think that, you know, there's a lot going on and a lot of other categories of life that is challenging, but the hobby is something that I'll do anything to not burn out in it and to preserve it as such a safe haven, you know, and with friends and people to share the whole thing with, you know, even sending a friend an ink splatter is fun. So it's just, you know, sometimes when I don't really feel like writing as much, you know, we find ourselves sort of sharing little cards with what the ink looks like in whatever format, you know, and that's fun too. So I hope this was enjoyable. I tried to get all of them into the 2-part series so that, you know, if you hadn't had a chance to see them, you could look at them as best as we can through lights, cameras, and, you know, the variants of our screens that we're watching on. And then you can head over to inkswatch.com, and Matt has put up all the tiles from both series, from both sets that I sent over. And yeah, we can start comparing with other inks and seeing what might be redundant or what we might already have that, so that we only obtain new inks that we need. Should I even say the word need within the hobby where we're already supplied, quite generously supplied already, but you know what I mean. I find it really fun when I make a discovery that I already have something that I'm sort of trying a new sample, and then I get all the tiles out and I'll be like, well, that's exactly like this one, or almost. And the proof is in when you get it in a nib, and then you can say, well, I can't really tell the difference, so I guess I'm good, because, you know. And then there's those unique ones that just grab us like, I've never seen anything like this one or whatever. So it remains fun for me. It's kind of come blasting back. For a while there, I didn't want to see another ink sample. I kind of went through about a year period like that. Sometime between, I don't know, right around 2018 or 19, after doing maybe too many intense individual reviews. But now I just do it for fun, and I share with you what you know, what I've done in my ink journals and stuff. So I'm going to let you go for now, but thank you very much for watching, and let me know in the comments what you think about these and what you discovered when you explored them if you did. So I'll see you on the next one. Next video should be Chris's ink pens for February, because I'm totally psyched about, you know, writing letters in February. It's one of my favorite months for that. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.